All right, second half, healthy ears. Your ears are obviously important because you're also, this is another sensory item in our body. Our eyes obviously are a sense to see. This also gives us the ability to hear. So receive information via noises. Your ears also help you keep your balance. If you didn't know that, ears are really important for that. So if you have really, really bad balance or you know someone that's off balance, it could be an inner ear problem. And a lot of people just put it up for, I just have bad balance. But this is where we get our balance from. So people don't obviously know that their ear could be the issue. Balance is controlled by the semicircular canals in our ears, and we'll look at where those are in a second. So there's a variety of ear problems that people can either be born with or can get due to injury. Infections in the middle of the ear are most common. If you ever had an ear infection and it hurt, and you went to the doctor and got like ear drops and you got better, it's easy to fix, but they're very common. Some people, if you have a lot of ear infections and you're little, you got something called tubes put in your ears, and that just helps your ears to drain better, because when we get all the fluids and like earwax build up in the middle is when we start to get infected. It's like if you were to leave a wound open and bacteria and dirt was stuck inside of it. That's why we clean our wounds. We don't want infections. Same kind of thing with ear infection. More serious ear problems are hearing loss and deafness. Again, you could be born that way, but some people adapt to becoming deaf, and some people will damage their eardrums to the point of needing hearing aids or not being able to hear anymore. So again, these can result from injury, disease, or if you have a birth defect, maybe your ear didn't fully form before you were born. Very loud noise can also cause hearing loss, so we need to be careful with how loudly we're listening to our music. Especially if you're using headphones, it's going directly into your ear. I try to use headphones as little as possible when I'm at home. My husband gets mad at me because he's always watching one show on the TV and I'm watching something on my phone that he doesn't want to watch, like The Bachelor or something. And he's like, "Can you put your headphones in?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to, because I value my hearing. I'm already pretty deaf in one ear from an ear infection that I had. And I mean, if you get an ear infection when you're an adult, it can cause hearing loss, and that's what happened to me in my poor right ear. But at such a young age, you want to really value your hearing, and there's a lot of, we got the AirPods now and the Beats headphones. It's just a popular thing to have something stuck in your ear at all times, but it's really, I think when this generation gets older, we're going to see a lot of hearing loss and deafness in older age, so just be careful. Tinnitus is a ringing noise in your ears, and that happens after you're exposed to a loud noise for a period of time. So if you ever hear a ringing, that's what that's called. There are 3 parts to our ears. In the outer ear, it includes the structures of the outside of your head, the part you can see. The ear is shaped in a way to allow you to capture the sound waves. So it's not just, there for looks, and if you just had a hole on the side of your head, you wouldn't really be able to capture any sound waves that were happening, and you wouldn't be able to hear me talk to you right now. So these are vibrations in the air. When I talk, you can hear it because it's vibrating, and it's going in through your outer ear. The middle part of your ear, the sound wave strikes your eardrum. That will be the first thing that it kind of runs into, and then it hits something called the hammer, your anvil, and stirrup. They're all kind of in here. We're not going to worry about what they look like too much, but hammer, anvil, and this thing that actually looks like a stirrup that you put your foot in on a horse is in there, and these vibrate and then they travel to the inner ear. So all this vibration, if you had something, if your eardrum was ruptured, then you wouldn't be able to move the vibration to your inner ear at all. So anything could cause damage to it, or if something happened to the shape of your outer ear, then possibly you wouldn't be able to hear either. Your inner ear is over here. It kind of looks like a snail, I always think. But you have these tiny little hairs in the conchlea that move and produce electrical messages. Again, we're back at the nervous system. You're going to learn all about the nervous system very soon. But this is deep, deep inside your inner ear. You can't really reach this with Q-tips or anything. But these are then sent to the brain along the auditory nerve, which is over here, kind of like in our eye. We had that optic nerve. Here's our auditory nerve. And then they're sorted out in your brain as speech sounds or non-speech sounds. So did I hear you say yes? Or did I hear someone scream or moo or, was it speech or was it a noise? And then our brain interprets them and tells us what we're hearing. So your ears right now are listening to what I'm saying. It's traveling through, it's vibrating. The tiny little hairs in your conchlea here are going out and it goes up to your brain. This is a very, very, very fast process also. And then it's interpreting my speech and you're getting answers for health. It's very cool. It's very cool. Again, I talked about your ears and balance. A lot of people don't know this part, but your canals are lined with these tiny hairs. We call them the cilia. You have them in other parts of your body too that you're going to find out when we talk about your body systems. But they're filled with fluid. And when you move or you change positions, like standing from 2 feet to 1 foot, the hairs and the fluid move. Your brain can sense these super, super delicate movements and tells your body which way to adjust your weight. So when you are learning to walk and crawl and run, this is how you learned. It's basically do and adjust, trial and error. When you try something for the first time, it's not going to be perfect. But then you learn the next time what you need to do differently. And this is what your brain and your body remembers. It's muscle memory. But when you get older, if you damage your ears, you could end up damaging your balance as well. But these little cilia hairs that are filled with fluid, they prevent you from falling over. So if you're going to lose your balance, obviously, if you were pushed hard enough, you're going to lose your balance no matter what. But if you're trying to prevent your balance from falling, like on a balance beam, these little hairs in your ear are going to tell your brain where they're moving, and that's going to tell your body how to move in response so that you don't fall. Again, this is just our ear. Here's the outer ear. And this is where your earwax builds and pushes out, so you clean it. And the first thing it hits is your eardrum. Goes into a thing called a hammer. You got your little steeple right there. And here's our conchlea, and there's your auditory nerve leaving. So another view. And here's your auditory tube. Just another view of the inside of the ear. So obviously I already said this, but you need to protect your ears from loud sounds. Loudness is measured by something called decibels. So for me, just talking to you, this is about 60 decibels. Repeated exposure to anything above 85 is considered harmful to your ears. So if you have people repeatedly screaming at you, that would be considered probably above 85, depending how loud they're screaming. If you have repeated exposure to loud music in your ears, when I can hear your music coming out of your headphones and they're in your ears, when I cringe, because that is definitely doing damage. So please take care of your ears. Listen to your music out loud in your bedroom, not at school. I don't want to hear your music. Again, keep your music turned down, especially your headphones. Also, from what you might already think is correct, you're actually not supposed to use cotton swabs in your ears or put anything in the opening. Instead, you can use the cotton swabs to clean the outside of the ear with water and then allow the insides to dry on their own. This is just to protect you from puncturing your eardrum and doing damage. Your earwax. Wow, took me a while to find the word earwax. It's been a long week, huh? But your earwax is created to push out any dirt or grime or fluid that they don't want in your ear. So that's why you have a buildup of earwax. And you can get those out with, cleaning and washing your body, and then use the cotton swab, but don't stick it and jam it in your ear. That could also jam earwax further in, making it get stuck, causing infection. So clean the outside of your ear with the cotton swabs all you want. Just don't jam anything inside of it. And we're not going to do that. So that is the end for ear care. Finish your worksheet, turn it in, and you're done. You can do it before Friday, but it is due Friday at the latest. This will be your first health grade on quarter 3. Ask if you have questions, take it seriously. I care about your guys' health, so everything I'm telling you, I'm hoping that you're going to remember and apply in your lives. Have a good week.